The Long War of Survival. Sri Lanka's human-elephant conflict, causes, consequences, and the search for coexistence. Sri Lanka's elephants have walked the island for millennia, long before kingdoms rose and fell, long before plantations and highways carved the land into fragments. They are woven into the country's cultural memory, guardians of the forest, symbols of majesty, and living emblems of heritage. Yet today, these same elephants are at the center of one of Sri Lanka's most painful and persistent struggles. The conflict between humans and elephants is not new. But in the last 4 decades, it has escalated into a national emergency, claiming hundreds of elephant lives each year, destroying livelihoods, and leaving rural families in constant fear. The tragedy is not that elephants are invading human spaces, it is that humans have steadily invaded theirs. This is the story of how it happened, what it means for both sides, and how Sri Lanka can still chart a path where elephants and villagers survive together. How the conflict emerged, a landscape transformed. Ancient coexistence. For centuries, elephants roamed freely across the island's dry zone, from Puttalam to Trincomalee, from Hambantota to Anuradhapura. Villages existed, but they were small, surrounded by vast forests and China cultivation that shifted seasonally. Elephants could move, forage, and migrate without obstruction. There was friction, but not war. The turning point, development and land conversion. The real rupture began in the mid-20th century and accelerated after 1977. Major drivers of habitat loss. Large-scale irrigation schemes, Mahaweli Development Project. Forests in the north-central, eastern, and Yuva provinces were cleared to create settlements and farmlands. Expansion of permanent agriculture. Paddy, sugarcane, banana, and maize replaced elephant corridors. Plantation expansion. Coconut, rubber, and commercial crops pushed deeper into elephant ranges. Infrastructure growth. Roads, electric fences, and towns fragmented ancient migratory routes. Unregulated encroachment. Illegal clearing for smallholder farms, cattle grazing, and timber extraction. Elephants lost 70% of their usable habitat in some regions. But elephants cannot simply move away. They are territorial, intelligent, and bound to ancestral routes passed down through generations. When their forests disappeared, they followed the only paths they knew, straight into human settlements. Why elephants enter villages? Elephants do not raid villages out of aggression. They do it out of necessity. Loss of food and water. Cleared forests mean fewer fruiting trees, fewer waterholes, fewer grasslands. Cultivated crops, especially paddy, maize, banana, and coconut, are irresistible. A single night raid can provide more calories than days of foraging in degraded forests. Fragmented corridors. Elephants migrate seasonally. When a corridor is blocked by a new village, a fenced estate, a road, a military camp, they are forced to detour through human settlements. Attraction to stored food. Rice stores, garbage dumps, and compost pits draw elephants like magnets. Behavioral adaptation. Over time, some elephants, especially solitary males, become crop raiders by habit. They learn Which villages are easiest to enter? Which crops are most rewarding? How to avoid people? This creates a cycle that is hard to break. The human cost, fear, loss, and trauma. For rural families living on the forest edge, the conflict is not abstract, it is daily life. Death and injury. Each year, over 100 to 150 Sri Lankans die from elephant encounters. Most are farmers guarding fields at night, villagers walking home after dusk, people trying to chase elephants away. The emotional toll on families is immense. Destruction of livelihoods. Elephants destroy paddy fields, home gardens, banana and coconut plantations, irrigation canals, fences and houses. For subsistence farmers, a single raid can erase a year's income. Psychological impact. Villagers live with sleepless nights, fear for children walking to school, anxiety during harvest season, constant vigilance. The conflict shapes their identity, their routines, and their sense of safety. The elephant's cost, a species under siege. Sri Lanka loses 300 to 400 elephants every year, one of the highest mortality rates in Asia. Causes of elephant deaths. Gunshot wounds, hakapatas, explosive-laden fruit, electrocution, train collisions, poisoning, falling into wells or canals. Many die slowly, painfully, and unseen. Social collapse. Elephants are highly social. When matriarchs die, herds lose leadership. Young elephants become disoriented. Conflict increases. Orphan calves often starve or become aggressive. Genetic and cultural loss. Elephants pass down. Migration routes. Feeding knowledge. Survival strategies. When individuals die, knowledge dies with them. Why current solutions often fail. Sri Lanka has tried many interventions, but most are reactive, not strategic. Electric fences. Useful when placed correctly, but often erected in the wrong locations. Poorly maintained. Built around villages instead of elephant ranges. Blocking corridors rather than guiding movement. Elephants learn to break or bypass them. Translocation. Moving elephants to new areas rarely works. They try to return home. They enter new villages. They disrupt resident herds. Many die from stress. It treats elephants as problems, not as beings with memory and territory. Elephant drives. Chasing elephants with firecrackers and vehicles only. Increases aggression. Scatters herds. Pushes conflict elsewhere. It is a temporary fix that worsens long-term behavior. What actually works? A path toward coexistence. The most successful strategies worldwide, and increasingly in Sri Lanka, focus on landscape-level planning and community partnership. Protect and restore elephant corridors. Elephants need connected landscapes. This means legally securing corridors, Relocating settlements only when absolutely necessary. Preventing new encroachments. Restoring degraded forests. Corridors reduce conflict more than any other intervention. Community-based fencing. Fences work best when villagers maintain them. They protect farmland, not block elephant movement. They are built with proper materials. They are monitored regularly. Shared responsibility increases success. Early warning systems. Using motion sensors. SMS alerts. Solar-powered alarms. Community watch groups. Villagers can prepare without risking their lives. Alternative crops. Elephants avoid citrus, ginger, turmeric, chili, lemongrass. Planting these as buffer zones reduces raids. Managed elephant ranges. Designating large, fenced, well-managed areas where elephants can roam safely, without being trapped, helps stabilize populations. Reducing attractants. Villages can secure garbage. Store grain in elephant-proof containers. Fence wells and canals. Small changes save lives. Education and awareness. Children and adults benefit from understanding elephant behavior, learning safe practices, respecting wildlife. Knowledge reduces fear and panic-driven responses. Sri Lanka's human-elephant conflict is not evenly spread across the island. It is concentrated in a belt that overlaps with the dry zone, where elephant ranges and human settlements collide most intensely. Over the years, research by the Department of Wildlife Conservation, conservation NGOs, and satellite tracking studies has consistently identified several high-risk districts. Most affected regions in Sri Lanka. North Central Province, the epicenter. This province records the highest number of elephant and human deaths annually. Key districts. Anuradhapura. Massive forest loss due to irrigation schemes. Large settlements bordering elephant corridors. Frequent night raids on paddy and China lands. Polonnaruwa. Elephant move between Waskamoa, Minria, and Kadula. Heavy crop damage, especially during harvest seasons. These areas sit directly on ancient elephant migratory routes. Eastern Province, expanding settlements, shrinking forests. Key districts. Trincomalee. Elephants from Kantali, Morawewa, and Gamarankadewala ranges. High conflict due to scattered villages and China cultivation. Batticaloa. Forest fragmentation and encroachment. Emperor. One of the highest elephant populations in the country. Frequent encounters around paddy fields and sugarcane estates. The post-war resettlement boom intensified pressure on elephant habitats. Yuva Province, a major conflict hotspot. Key districts. Manaragala. Large elephant population. Expanding banana, maize, and sugarcane plantations. Badula, bordering lowland areas. Elephants pushed into villages due to forest clearing. Manaragala is often ranked among the top 3 conflict districts. Northwestern Province, Rapid agricultural expansion. Key districts. Puttalam. Elephants from Wolpatu and surrounding forests. Coconut and banana plantations attract raiding. Kurunegala, dry zone areas. Fragmented habitats and scattered settlements. These districts experience both crop raiding and property damage. Southern Province, the Southern Elephant Range. Key districts. Hambantota. Elephants displaced by development projects. Frequent encounters near Lunagam Vihara and Tisamarama. Monaragala border areas. Shared elephant ranges with Yuva Province. The southern population is genetically distinct and under severe pressure. Central Province, forest edges and plantation borders. Key districts. Matale. Elephants moving between Waskamoa and Knuckles foothills. Kandy, fringe areas. Occasional conflict in rural borders. These areas are less intense than the dry zone but still significant. The conflict is most severe where ancient elephant routes intersect with new human landscapes. A vision for the future, coexistence, not confrontation. Sri Lanka's elephants are not invaders. They are survivors of a shrinking world. The conflict is not a battle between species, it is a symptom of broken landscapes and unplanned development. A sustainable future requires political will, scientific planning, community empowerment, long-term investment, compassion. Closing thought. The human-elephant conflict is one of the few crises where both sides are victims. But it is also one of the few where both sides can win, if the country chooses coexistence over confrontation. In the end, the struggle between humans and elephants in Sri Lanka is not a battle for dominance but a test of wisdom. It asks whether a nation with thousands of years of cultural reverence for the elephant can now summon the foresight to protect both its people and its wildlife. The path forward is neither simple nor quick, but it is possible, rooted in science, guided by compassion, and strengthened by communities who refuse to surrender their safety or their heritage. If Sri Lanka chooses coexistence with intention and courage, the island can still become a place where children sleep without fear, farmers harvest without loss, and elephants roam with the dignity they have earned over centuries. The future of both species depends on the choices made today, and the world is watching to see whether Sri Lanka will lead with harmony rather than conflict. If Sri Lanka succeeds, it will not only save its elephants, it will preserve a part of its soul.